Good morning, students. Literature student, BA Part 1. This lecture is specially meant for Rajasthan University student of BA Part 1, BA Part first year, and this is related with your first paper, that is poetry and drama. And yesterday we were discussing about a song for Saint Cecilia's Day written by John Dryden. So today I shall continue with the same lecture, students. Now, as you have been related, the poem line to line interpretation was done yesterday. So today I shall be discussing the short note which I have given here on board. So, a song for Saint Cecilia's Day, written 1687. It consists of 7 stanzas and a grand chorus. It describes the involvement of music in both the makings of the universe and the subtitles of human emotion and pity. Now, this particular poem, it mainly not only celebrates Saint Cecilia, the great sacrifice for her country, but it also tells us about the power of music. So, uh, John Dryden wrote this ode entitled A Song for Saint Cecilia's Day to celebrate the memory of Saint Cecilia, a pious Christian lady who sacrificed her life in Rome in the year 230 AD. She is adored as a saint and great patron of music. Her music had divine qualities. The poet explains the genesis or creation of this universe by the power of divine music. The poet imagines that the frame of this universe evolved through the power of music. The power heavenly from harmony of heavenly music brought to the various elements of the universe to make it a compact whole. Nature lay underneath a heap of discordant atoms scattered away from one another. So, the power of nature was responsible for the creation of life. Now, this particular what you say song, it comprises 7 stanzas, and I would like to discuss all stanzas one by one. In first stanza, there is an unnamed speaker who opens the poem by describing how the world was created according to a certain kind of heavenly harmony or divine order, from a chaotic state in which the universe existed in the form of scattered atoms. Nature was summoned, it was ordered to existence by music. So, here you see the power of music, how the creation itself took place by listening to the music. The creation of the universe, initiated by the command of music, then culminated in the creation of man. In stanza 2, the speaker goes on to describe music's capacity to inspire passion, giving us an example. He gives us the story of Juba, the very first musician. Okay, so he is known as even the father of music, mentioned in the Old Testament, and the power of his instrument to move the hearts of his listeners. Now, from stanza 3 to stanza 6, the speaker describes different musical instruments and their abilities to incite different kinds of emotions. Okay, in stanza 3, poet describes the trumpet and drum and their power to inspire militant anger. That how, how they are excited to fight their enemies in the war, how they get excited by listening to the beats of the drum, etc., etc. Now, in stanza 3 describes the trumpet and drum and their power to inspire militant anger. In stanza 4, the ability of the flute and lute to inspire melancholy. Stanza 5 gives us the diversity of strong emotions, that is, jealousy, fury, anger, pain, and passion. That means all types of feelings could be excited, all types of emotions could be created by listening to the music that the violin can incite. Stanza 6 the organ's capability to inspire pity. Stanza 7, it continues the previous stanza's description of the organ. It elaborates upon its appearance in the story of Saint Cecilia. It alludes to Roman mythology. The speaker argues that Saint Cecilia's organ possesses a power superior to the Orpheus lyre, in that the former even caused an angel to mistake earth for heaven. So, the grand chorus closes the poem with the description of the dreadful hour, that is, the hour of death, in which the spheres of the world are reordered, the reign of the great Creator, the Christian God, is celebrated, the existing laws of the world are reversed, and the universe is rebuilt and restructured with the force of music. And see, I will just read out the last grand chorus here for you. As from the power of sacred lays, the spheres began to move and sung the great Creator's praise. These very much resemble the beginning lines of the first stanza. See here, from harmony, from heavenly harmony, that is the power of music, this universal frame began, when nature underneath a heap of jarring atoms lay and could not heave her head, the tuneful voice was heard from high, arise you more than dead. Okay. Now see how does it end? Now see the chorus here. So as from the power of sacred lays, the spheres began to move and sung the great Creator's praise to all the blessed above. So when the last, now see about the last remaining 5 lines here. Excuse me. So when the last and dreadful hour this crumbling pageant shall devour, the trumpet shall be heard on high, the dead shall live, the living die, and music shall untune the sky. Yes, that is the last day, the day of judgment, when everything is after doomsday, when everything is going to come to an end. Okay, so the people who are dead, they'll arise, okay, from their graves, and the people who have died, they will be buried. So, but everybody on day of judgment, so till the day of judgment, so the music has got its part. So students, here I end my lecture. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so much.